What's up, Vegas Sports Nation? Welcome to the Vegas Sports Scene. I'm your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry. Here on a Saturday night, Vegas Golden Knights are getting their asses whooped right now. But, you can't win them all. I guess you could win them all, but not looking good for the Vegas Golden Knights as we speak. Last I seen was 5-1. And Edmonton was on a power play, which they score on in the playoffs like 66% of the time, over 60%. It's unbelievable. Right now, it's how good the Oilers are at on the power play is just it's mind-boggling. Oh, look at that, Maiko Spencer. What's up? I'm first, Adam. What do you think about that, Adam? Paul beat ya. What's up, buddy? Wow, that was I mean, the timestamps on these comments, 10:01, 10:01, unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's worth the pop in right there. Just see who's first. Fantastic. We'll kick the show off with the Raiders, of course, like we usually do. And some undrafted free agent signings. So if you're watching this, you're probably a sports fan, and you already know that after the draft, that's when you can sign undrafted free agents, guys that weren't drafted for one reason or another. Adam Glenn says I won. You did not, Adam. Paul Spencer, Maiko says Cowboy Nation is finally ahead of the damn Eagles for once. It's the small things in life, Maiko. It's the small things in life. But yeah, Adam. According to the way this drops here on the comment section, you were second, buddy. It had to be by seconds. They don't show, the timestamp doesn't show seconds. It just shows the hours and the minutes. So, but it's Maiko Spencer and Adam Glenn. Man, the streak has ended. We know Eileen's probably not going to be on yet because she's watching wrestling. I forgot about her. I would have turned it on. Rhea Ripley was wrestling. I like Rhea Ripley. I like her for different reasons besides her wrestling. Anyway, so yeah, so like I was saying about the undrafted free agents. Adam says the Cowboy won. Eileen, there's watching Backlash, WWE Backlash, and checking in on the Vegas Sports Scene. Awesome. Hello, Eileen. As I clicked on it, LOL. I would have thought that I'd be a half hour in, and then you'd be popping in. Yeah. My phone just gave me an update saying that Rhea Ripley retained her belt, so that's good. There we go. And wrestling, and that's what it is. Even with wrestling, Eileen, it's all about timing. It's just like in the podcast land with the comments, and in wrestling, it's all about timing. Impeccable. So a couple of the undrafted free agents that the Raiders signed, go towards depth and need. Every once in a while, you get lucky and you find an undrafted free agent that could help your team right off the bat, or maybe a year or two down the road, unexpectedly. Because sometimes they weren't drafted, they were expected to go, second, third, fourth, fifth round, but are left off for either character reasons or injury reasons or whatever, and you get lucky and you find one of those guys that were undrafted, undrafted. So you pick them up there, and sometimes it's it's some good scouting and a little bit of luck. The mayor of Las Vegas, Vegas Rob, checking in. What's up, brother? How you doing? Well, we're watching the Golden Knights getting their tushies spanked. Unbelievable. So some of these undrafted free agents, McClendon Curtis, offensive tackle from Chattanooga. He played 30 games at right guard, 7 at left tackle, 1 game at left guard, 6-year red shirt. Powerful frame. These are all scouting reports that I've gotten off the interwebs. This is not me doing scouting or nothing like that. I wouldn't even know where to look. It says great arm length. What the hell? Okay, if you say so. So that's a good offensive lineman pickup. From everything I read about McClendon Curtis, he could be a guy that could potentially slide in there into a rotation right away, right off the bat. So that's good. He looked to be like a big dude. Jaden Grant, defensive back from Oregon State, good speed. Shows ball skills. When breaking on a route, is a good tackler. I'm sorry. Shows excellent ball skills when breaking on the route. He's also an excellent excellent tackler. One of the knocks on him was that he gives too much cushion, so that gives up some of the shorter passes, but also is easier to bite on for double routes. You give up all that cushion, you're worried about the underneath stuff. So you have the quarterback give that pump fake. Well, then you take those one or two steps in, you're done. Your ass is toast. So that's what happens if you give up too much cushion. You're very susceptible to the double move. Maiko checking in says, geez, I have hockey, UFC, boxing, basketball on 130-inch TV and wrestling now, but the Kings game is over 5-1. Win $240 in the Kentucky Derby. The Japanese horse won. That's the Oilers and the Golden Knights. That the Kings are out. So yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, the Kentucky Derby was today. That was I didn't get a chance to watch it, but my phone was blown up over a horse that had an early scratch this morning or whatever. I think he was the favorite. It said. So I put a bet on a horse that was actually from the area, from Pine Grove, which is about 6 miles from where I live, and he did not win. So he did not win, which means I did not win. So Jaden Grant, so he's susceptible to double moves. Throughout his career, he had 223 tackles, 9 interceptions. Pretty good, not bad. Probably better. A rotational guy. Depth kind of guy. It seems like. Eileen says, FanDuel was annoying to me trying to get me on the Derby. I gave up for some reason. I think I'm too close to Jersey when the Hudson River separates us. I was getting a lot of notifications, I guess it is, from FanDuel about betting on the Derby. And, I'm swiping them off, and it just keeps coming up. Like, what the hell? So finally I just said, all right. So it was a no sweat bet or whatever the hell it is, up to $25. I put $5 on. I don't remember what the horse's name was. I just know it was from my area here. So I put the $5 on, and then it left me alone. No more FanDuel updates. Like, all right, then there we go. They just want my money. Danny on Wheels, what's up, buddy? He said he's interested to see how the Raiders season goes. I am also. You can check Danny out on Mondays at Joystick Junkies, and Fridays on the Big Blue Power Hour. The Giants are going to be an interesting team. I think that's going to be interesting to see how they build on last year's success with the moves that they made in the offseason and through the draft and stuff like that. And I like Daniel Jones. Maybe not for the money that they paid for him, but I like Daniel Jones. I think he's only going to build on last season and get better. He's a good mobile quarterback. I feel like he has a decent arm. And with the right weapons and Saquon Barkley, running well, it's a good recipe there. Maiko says now I can add to the list Korean baseball, cricket, and horse race betting expert. The cricket, we talked about the cricket before. Maiko, that doesn't even make it. I don't know if anybody who's watching this show watches, ever watched or followed cricket. But I never did, and I bet on it the one time on FanDuel, and that game went on for I think it was 3 or 4 days. Like, how does this even happen? Like I'm like, I keep checking to keep like refreshing my screen, waiting for the money to drop in because the team that I bet on was winning by 900 to 100, whatever the hell it was. I'm like, they're winning by 800 runs or 800 points. You can't come back from that. Well, and then the next day, the other team's getting a little bit closer. And the next day, the team's a little bit closer. Like the whole cricket thing has me baffled. I mean, we should probably start on Out of the Box Sports a cricket show. It's unbelievable what days it goes on for. I don't understand it. I even watched a couple YouTube videos trying. It still doesn't make sense. Adam Glenn says, who will have a better record, Raiders or Giants? I think the Giants will, Adam. If you go by last year, the Giants are in a tougher division. And the Raiders still have a lot to build on, which I'll touch on in a little bit after I finish the undrafted free agents. But yeah, I do think the Giants are going to have a better season, a better record in the end. But I think the Raiders will take a step in the right direction this season. I think it'll get better as McDaniels gets more of his guys. Hopefully, well, not his guys, Patriots, but scheme guys. What he wants to do on offense. As he gets more of those guys into his system, hopefully they play better offensively and defensively. But it remains to be seen. I feel like they're taking the right steps, but it's not enough yet. Maiko says, yes, you need 4 days to bet for one game. So clear the schedule when you're betting cricket. Clear the schedule. I want more production from DJ into 2023. Danny, I was So Danny, are you talking more like through the air or more through the more on the ground or both? I mean, me personally, I would want a little bit more through the air, a little bit less running, unless it's absolutely necessary. But that's such a huge part of his game. You don't want to handcuff him, in my opinion, anyway. The mayor says, I finally got my Monkey Colt coffee. Can't wait to try it. Speaking of Monkey Colt coffee, I'm going to take that comment down, take the banner down, and do our first sponsor read here. There it is. Monkey Colt coffee. Hashtag join the cult. The evolution of flavor-infused coffee. They got the bourbon chocolate chip coffee, which I've talked about for a while now, and they just came out last week with the brand new flavor, the toasted coconut rum, and it's fantastic. I gave a little story on the Batcave about the toasted coconut rum. How my old man gave me a coffee pot because I couldn't find a coffee pot at the local stores. So my dad who has a K-cup machine said he's not using his coffee pot. I said, so I'll take it off your hands, old man. So he dropped it off the house. I did the toasted coconut rum. Man, the smell that went through the house. Those commercials, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Well, they got to change that now. It's the best part of waking up is Monkey Colt in your cup. Right there. It was so good. The smell was so good. So aromatic. It was, and the taste was very flavorful, very good. So they got the toasted coconut rum. It's a huge hit. They got the cold brew pitcher. They got T-shirts. They got coffee mugs. They got tumblers. K-cup adapter for your K-cup gimmick machine. All that on monkeycoltcoffee.com. When you're checking out, make sure you enter the promo code OOTB Sports. That's OOTB Sports at checkout to get a discount. So make sure you check out all those products, T-shirts, the chocolate bourbon, the bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, and the toasted coconut rum. And their rum cake is really, really good. I had a chunk of that the other day with my last order. That was really good. So make sure you check all their products out at monkeycoltcoffee.com. That's monkeycoltcoffee.com. And make sure you enter that promo code OOTB Sports at checkout. But real quick on that rum cake, I wasn't like looking at the picture on the website. It looked, you can't really tell how big it is. It gives a description. What the hell? I don't know what ounces. It says that I think 12 ounces or something like that. I don't know what it was. But I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm expecting a small piece of cake, and this brick came in the mail like, oh boy, look at this. I was all excited, but I wasn't expecting a whole lot because I've had the Jack Daniel's rum cake, and it is so overpowering. It's like it's uneatable. It's unedible. That's what I meant. Unedible, uneatable. I don't know if that's a word. I just made a word here out of the box sports here on the Vegas sports scene. We make up words, but it was also almost inedible. And but when I tried this Monkey Cold Coffee rum cake, fantastic. The flavor dispersion I thought was great. I didn't think the rum taste in it was too strong at all. I thought it was perfect. Had a nice hint of sweetness there. It was very, very moist. I mean, I can't rave enough about the Monkey Cold Coffee products. I mean, everything I've tried so far has been a home run through them. So make sure you check them out at monkeycoldcoffee.com and let them know what you think. Hit them up on reviews and stuff like that, or send them a direct message and let them know what you think. Good, bad, or indifferent. They're open up to ideas. They're fairly new also, so it's good. Maiko says, "Okay, brother, got a roll. Great show. UFC 288 is about to start, and Canelo boxing." You're saying that you'd rather watch the UFC 288 and Canelo boxing than watch me struggle through and I forgot here on the Vegas sports scene. What a bunch of crap that is. Through the air, okay. Yeah, I agree, Danny. I'd like to see him get a little bit more production through the air. But we also have a comment here from Out of the Box Sports Network. What the hell? Also, new show coming soon. Philly fans, details this week. Stay tuned. Yeah, very excited to have this new show coming on board. Fantastic show, fantastic host, and it's going to be awesome. Maiko says, "Oh my God, I need to clip for Monkey Cold Coffee. The best part of waking is the Monkey Cold Coffee." Yeah, that could be a ring. That should be the Monkey Cold Coffee ringtone for their phones. The best part of waking up is Monkey Cold in your cup. There it is. How rude. Rob Heatherson, I'm going to mix the Monkey Colt with Jim Beam. Oh, there you go. Going for a little what do they call it? I guess they call it, I don't know, I want to say Irish coffee because I don't think Jim Beam's Irish, but that's how I know it. You are way more entertaining. Thank you, Eileen. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to entertain. Maybe a little bit of knowledge for the Raiders, and then even less for the Golden Knights. But I'm mostly here for entertainment purposes and reasons. Maiko Spencer is actually awaiting his return to Out of the Box. Yeah, Rob will be coming back fairly soon. As soon as you're ready there, fella, just let us know. And we got a spot right there, right there in the Vegas skyline. Sit there waiting for you. You can see it right there in front of the Eiffel Tower and that big-ass building back there. Mike, I'm still watching, Eileen. All right, so back to the Raiders undrafted free agent. We're getting derailed here, which is all right. I like the craziness. So another unrestricted undrafted free agent that the Raiders signed was Aziz Hearn, a defensive back from UCLA. Now the scouting report on him was not very favorable, but you pick up bodies for practice squad or for special teams. But anyway, so it's probably not going to be a cornerback, which is what he was at college. There's a lack of ball skills and anticipation. He didn't have any interceptions, I think it said, in his last 2 seasons, I think, for UCLA. Good tackler, though. Could lead him to becoming a safety for some safety depth. So that's interesting. Jordan Perryman, a defensive back from UC Davis. Average speed, plays better in press coverage, which is good. A lot of press. I believe the Raiders play. At least that's what we used to play. But it doesn't really matter what we play. We play press man, regular man, zone, whatever, nickel, dime, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. We give up 30 points a game anyway. Great route recognition also, it says about Jordan Perryman. So that's favorable for him. So those were the undrafted free agent signings that were listed on the interwebs. So not bad. Some more defensive help, offensive linemen, which is good. Which we didn't draft any offensive linemen. I don't think in the draft. And speaking of the draft, I'll go over the draft picks again real quick. A week later, you get a little bit more information on them. So Tyree Wilson was our first pick for round 1, 7th pick. It says he's not a guarantee home run. It said there's a couple players that are actual guaranteed home runs. They listed them off. Of course, one was Witherspoon, who's one of the guys I was hoping the Raiders would draft, but he was gone before they got to us. And they said with Jalen Carter's history, which 100%, the Eagles got a hell of a player in Jalen Carter, but the Raiders couldn't draft him. Now with the whole Henry Ruggs thing still happening, and then what happened with Jalen Carter, you can't draft that guy. Not in that situation. If they were still in Oakland, maybe you go for him then, but not what happened in Las Vegas. I think it would be almost, I wouldn't say it would be in poor taste, but it wouldn't be a great look. So it is what it is. So what they said about Tyree Wilson is that he's not a guarantee home run, but in a year or two, if he keeps following his progression, that there's the potential where he is going to be a home run. So we'll have to see how he progresses. How the Raiders defense progresses. I think it's going to depend on a lot how he progresses. What coaching staff is going to be there. It's kind of be if he's going to be there. If we're firing coaches, the next coach that comes in, might be looking for draft capital and just trades them away. We've seen it with Khalil Mack. You know what I mean? So hopefully it's a home run. It was a home run with Khalil Mack. We should have never left him go. Now, granted, since he's left, it hasn't been as good as it was when he was with the Raiders, but he's still having some really good seasons where if he was with the Raiders would be, Pro Bowl seasons easily. But he's not. To be honest, I don't even know if he's at San Diego. There was talks that he was going to be leaving there. Also, I don't know if it was through trade or if he was a free agent. I'm not sure. I didn't see him on a free agent list or anything, but I know there was some talk that he was looking to get out of Los Angeles Chargers organization. We'll see what happens. So then in round 2 with our 35th overall pick, we picked up Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. The scouting report I was reading on him says it's not a great pass catcher like Darren Waller is, but he's a very good pass catcher. But he's also overall better tight end than what Waller is. He's more of a complete player than what Waller is, and they predicted that he's going to be to multiple Pro Bowls and maybe even All Pro. They said that there's a really good chance that he could be a Pro Bowler his first season. With the amount that Jimmy G uses his tight ends and what we have in our tight end room, he should get a lot of snaps, a lot of playing time, and the talent's there. So you expect really, really big things out of him, and it's exciting. That's probably the most excited I was about any of the picks that we have was with Michael Mayer. Just the fact that he was there and we actually picked him was insane. And I guess some of the stuff I read saying with the tight end class being so deep is the reason why he was there. A lot of the tight ends were falling because a lot of teams were like, well, I can just get a tight end later. So they just started falling down the board. That's good. He fell right into our lap, which is fantastic. Adam Glenn says, I think they should have found a way to draft Hayden Hooker. Yeah, I agree. But, they also had that a chance at the kid from UCLA, something Robinson, the 3-name guy. I don't remember his name. Dorian something Robinson, I think. But they didn't add him. They took a statue. So, but everything I read about Aiden O'Connell is, It's not a bad pickup. There's a lot of potential there. Yeah, he's a statue. His arm isn't the strongest, but the system that McDaniels runs, it's not really made for a strong arm quarterback. Jimmy G's not a strong arm quarterback. He doesn't throw the ball deep at all. I think he was last in the league among starting quarterbacks last year in deep passing. I mean, attempts. I think it said 1 or 0 for passes over a certain amount of yards. I don't remember what the number of yards was. It wasn't 20, but it was something bigger. But yeah, so if it's the system, and that's kind of what you look for when you're picking players up like that, when you're drafting deeper in the draft, you're looking for system guys, and see how they progress through the years. Jimmy G's I think was it a 3-year deal, something like that. Who knows? Aiden O'Connell progresses, and they say, all right, Jimmy G, sorry, you're handsome, but we got Farva. If you don't understand the reference, you have to watch Super Troopers, then look at the picture of the Raiders' new rookie quarterback, and then you'll understand. He looks just like that Farva character from Super Troopers. Not as chunky in the face, but chunky enough in the face, and has that weird mustache. Eileen says, always room to develop. Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't overly crazy about that pick. I wasn't overly excited about that pick. I feel like there were better quarterbacks there, but that's just wait and see. See how they grow, see how they develop, and this will prove if McDaniels is what he says he is, if he's a quarterback guru, an offensive guru, or was it just Tom Brady? So we're going to find out. Then the Raiders, after picking Michael Mayer, they picked Brian Young, defensive tackle from Alabama, in the third round with the 70th overall pick. They said he's a high character leader. He was a high character leader at Alabama. Great at stuff in the run, and very good pass rush from up the middle. And they said there's a lot of room to improve in the pass rush yet also, which is the most exciting part for the Raiders, is that he was already good at the pass rush up the middle, and there's so much room to grow with it that that should be one of their I don't remember what the site was that I was getting my information from, but they said that was the most exciting pick that they thought the Raiders made, was the Brian Young pick in the third round, which is one of the guys I had on my short list when I was going over all the mock drafts and the pre-draft stuff. So I was happy to see them pick a guy I actually had on my list. So, then the third round, the 100th overall pick, we picked wide receiver Trey Tucker, which I was not happy about. But the more I read on it, maybe it was a really good pick, a sleeper pick almost. Speedy, undersized wide receiver. They said he can do things that our other wide receivers cannot, like Devontae Adams. The guy we got from the Patriots, I can't think of his damn name now. But yeah, our other he does things that our other wide receivers cannot do, that Hunter Renfrow himself cannot do. That's what it says. They said he's super fast on these routes underneath and breaking off of the routes and stuff like that. Great hands. And they said he's the potential of being the steal of the draft. So we'll have to wait and see. I think I said he ran a 4.340 when I was talking about the draft picks last week. And Jacoby Myers, that's the name I was thinking of. Jacoby Myers. I beat you to it, Eileen. I said Jacoby Myers. I looked at the comments. It wasn't there yet. Then it popped up. I knew it before. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Jacoby Myers. Oh my God. So then in the fourth round with the 104th overall pick, we picked up Jacorian Bennett, defensive back. It says that he appears to be a scheme fit, a very versatile player, but his knock was, he had a lot of penalties last year, and that just fits right in with the Raider way with all the penalties and so yeah. Defensive backs and between our defensive backs and our linemen, particularly Jermaine Ulumanor, had so many penalties again last year. It was terrible. I felt like we were going in the right direction with penalties, but it's dropped off or rose, however you want to look at it, drastically again. You need to get faster. Yeah, I kept checking like, oh man, nobody's gonna help me out with this one. But then I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is it? And I could think of a J, but I can't think of anything else. And I'm like, Jacoby. I'm like, okay, Jacoby Myers. And I said it, or I was thinking, I was getting ready to say it, and then I seen it pop up. Man. So then we drafted Aiden O'Connell, 4th round, 135th pick overall. Like I said, very statuesque, does not move well in the pocket, not a strong arm. His best season was 2021. Last season, he was banged up a little bit. So they said his numbers were down. And but from what everything I've read, a lot of the executives around the league were praising this pick, saying that there's a lot of potential that Aiden O'Connell could be a very, very good quarterback in the league. So I just don't like the fact that he has no mobility, that he's a statue. I mean, like, I was screaming from the rooftops last season that Derek Carr needs to run the ball a little bit more to make the team successful. And he just wouldn't. He'd just, drop back and either take the sack or throw the ball away or throw an interception. And whenever he was under pressure. And so I feel like they had to go more mobile there, and Jimmy G's not super mobile, but a little bit. I've seen him move some, but they draft a guy that's even less mobile than Jimmy G. It's like, oh, come on. With a porous offensive line. I mean, our offensive line was much better last year than anybody thought it was going to be. But still, I mean, they still let up a lot of sacks in some games. Like the last game, six sacks they let up. That's not going to cut it. Jimmy G's going to get murdered. Then they're going to put Aiden O'Connell in, or for the love of God, Brian Hoyer. If they put him in, you have Garbers sitting there with the hat and the clipboard, hoping that he doesn't have to go in either. Good old Garbers. I always think of his name, it should be Blaze Garbers. That sounds like it goes right, but I know it's not Blaze, but it should be Blaze. Blaze Garbers. I think it's Chase Garbers, but I think it should be Blaze. That's a pretty cool name, Blaze. Wish my name was Blaze. No, I don't. So then in the 5th round with the 170th pick, we took Christopher Smith, the second, not junior, the second, from Georgia, safety. A couple of the sites that I looked on saying that he could be the gem of the draft. So we need safety help. And with Epps there and Trayvon Morig, it wasn't all that great last year. The whole secondary was shit. So I mean, anybody. I'm not going to say anybody was good last year. Amik Robertson had 2 interceptions for us last year, and he was our best player in the secondary, and he was awful. So I mean, But so for Christopher Smith, they said it could be the steal of the draft for the Raiders. They said he could be the gem. Very under the radar kind of guy. They said all he does is win in high school. That's all he did was win. Winning the Georgia State championships. Then with Georgia, 2 national championships. So hopefully he brings kind of a winning culture or whatever shit he stepped in. Hopefully he brings that with him to Las Vegas. Then in the 6th round, 203rd pick, Amari Burney, great speed for a coverage linebacker. There's a chance with his size that it said he could play some safety also. So that's interesting to me, like a hybrid almost. So that's really interesting to me from Florida. He's a linebacker from Florida. So that should be interesting. I think that should be a lot of fun to see what they do with him. Then finally in the 7th round with the 231st pick overall, we took Nesta Jade Slavera. Love that name, Nesta. He's a big run stuffer. Plays a 2-down. Plays a 2 technique. He's a 2-down player. They're predicting right now anyway. Meaning he's not going to play in your 3rd and longs, 3rd and mediums, where you're looking more for a pass rush than you are for a run stuffer. So he'll probably be a 2-down player. They expect him to rotate in. They said he should be an impact player right away. but he has a potential upside as a pass rusher. He did show some flashes of it, it said, last season. There's need more consistency and better technique out of him with pass rushing. And if he can get that down, well, now all of a sudden he's a three down player. So that's good. I mean, so overall, I mean, most of the experts that I've followed up on this past week have given the Raiders high praise, high regard for their draft picks. Now, it's not the Philadelphia Eagles who everybody says just knocked it out of the ballpark. But they, from every I gave them a B-. From everybody that's all the different websites that I've looked at, or Raider pages, or whatever you want to say on the Twitter box, they were giving the Raiders B+, B-. So we're all right in the ballpark, and that's a heck of a grade. It's probably one of the better marks that the Raiders have gotten in a few years. I mean, there's the past 5 years, there's been a couple D's and a couple C's there in the draft. So I'll take the B all day, any day. So getting off the draft now, we'll move on to Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya, see you later. He just signed with the Baltimore Ravens. So he's gone. He was our big pickup, our big offseason trade pickup last year. We traded away our best, second best pass rusher next to Max Crosby last year, and the dude with the best name on the team, Yannick Ngakoue. We traded him for this awesome defensive back who came here and played like garbage. So, I mean, he did it. It wasn't complete garbage. He did have a pretty good start to the season, where he was one of the higher-rated defensive backs in the league, but it dropped off drastically. He ended up playing, I think, 11 or 12 games for us. He didn't play the whole season, got hurt. I don't know if he got hurt. It was the middle or the end of the season, but he was banged up a bit. And so he only ended up playing in 12 games, starting, I think, 9 of them. No interceptions. That's 2 years in a row for 0 interceptions. And we only had 2 last year, and they're both by Amik Robertson. We need the turnover. We need turnovers. Yeah. So it's see you later, Rock Ya-Sin. Don't let the door hit you. I was really hoping the Raiders would have signed Yannick Ngakoue back. He's a young pass rusher. Had double-digit sacks again last year, I believe, with the Colts. I think he's still out there. I could be wrong, free agent-wise. I hope they do take a look at him. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have another edge rusher. It wouldn't. I'd rather have more edge rushers than not enough edge rushers. They make the league nowadays. That's going to help your secondary. So let's see. I'm going to check my notes here real quick. Make sure I'm not missing something. Nope. So we'll move on to Renfro trade rumors swirling. So the one website was reporting that there were talks of a trade between the Raiders and the Buccaneers, sending Renfro to the Buccaneers and a 5th-round pick for Devin White, linebacker. So I guess Devin White requested a trade. He wanted to leave Tampa Bay. He's looking for a newer, bigger contract, $20 million, in the range of $20 million a year. But it said he was willing to kind of drop down to $15 million in the right situation. And they're saying that Hunter Renfro could be a perfect fit in the Tampa Bay offense with Chris Godwin and the other guy. I had his name there, but I forgot it. But it could be a heck of a fit there with that receiving core. Really good receivers there. Do get hurt a lot, but then Devin White would be a huge pickup for us because right now we have Masterson, Luke Masterson, Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, and now with the draft of Amari Burney, those are our linebackers. With Denzel Perryman being a free agent yet, I believe it doesn't seem like we're going to re-sign him. We did pick somebody else up, but I can't remember who it is. I talked about him a couple weeks ago before the draft. We picked up a free agent linebacker. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to hear lots of trade talks about Renfrow, I think, moving forward with with the pickups that we had in the offseason, between DeAndre Carter from Los Angeles Chargers, Trey Tucker, who we picked up in the draft. Like I said last week, I said, so now we have 300 Renfrows in the team. One of them has to go. And I'm not talking about Hunter Renfrow playing for the Los Angeles Angels. I'm talking about Hunter Renfrow, the Las Vegas Raiders Hunter Renfrow, not the outfielder Hunter Renfrow in Los Angeles. This is Las Vegas. One more move to talk about. Significant or not, but I thought it was pretty neat. Got a comment here. Who do you see as being a good fit for Renfrow? Anybody could really use them. My thought is anywhere with a mobile quarterback, because the one thing with Renfrow that made him so special, made him a Pro Bowler, and made him I think special. I think he's a great player. Besides his toughness, I think he's a tough player. For his size and stuff like that. He gets hit hard. Is his ability to ad lib routes, to break off of routes and stuff like that. And it's so important when you have I'm going to adjust this here a little bit. That's really important when you have a mobile quarterback, in my opinion, because with mobile quarterbacks, they move around a lot, so they need wide receivers to adjust to them, and that's what Hunter Renfrow does. He breaks off routes early, finds soft spots in zones, and you get on a good rapport with Hunter Renfrow. You have a lot of wide open spots that you could hit for some big plays. So pretty much anywhere, I think, in with a mobile quarterback. So you look at like Baltimore, Cleveland. Who else is mobile quarterback? I think San Francisco, up in Chicago. Now, what their needs are, if they need wide receivers, I have no idea. But that would be my first thought, would be somebody with a mobile quarterback. I mean, quarterbacks to run the run a lot. If that makes sense. To me, it does. To look at somebody like that that's used to breaking off routes, that's their specialty is breaking off routes, and creating space and creating plays. He has really good hands. And like I said, he's tough. But I mean, this guy was saying Tampa Bay potentially, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not even sure who Tampa Bay's quarterback is right now. And after with Brady leaving and stuff, I mean, even the New York Jets. Eileen, you're a Jets fan. I don't know if they need a wide receiver. I mean, Rodgers, he's mobile a little bit. He does move around. He moves well in the pocket. He doesn't move around to run. He used to, but Rodgers has great pocket presence where he just feels the pressure, is able to move around, step up, or go side to side, or even go back. Renfrow would be a perfect target for somebody like that. If that, all of a sudden Rodgers feels the pressure come off to the side, he takes his couple steps over. Renfrow sees that. He breaks off the route. He's right there. There's a 5-yard dump off to Renfrow, who breaks it off for 15-yard gain. So I mean that would be a nice pickup there. But they'll end up sending them to the Patriots because that's what they do, because they're butt buddies. Them and the Patriots, the Raiders, the Las Vegas Patriots here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. I feel like they have a lot of young wide receivers, and they've also brought in some of Rodgers' boys from the Packers. So yeah, I don't expect too much. I don't expect Renfrow to be in in preseason camp with the Raiders. I think he'll be gone before the preseason starts and stuff. I mean, it is what it is. I like Renfro. It's me a bummer to see him go, but he's not the first one. Always, once a Raider, always a Raider. You know, Rob and I always say that on the show. When Rob was on the show, is once a Raider, always a Raider. So one more move I thought was pretty interesting. The Raiders added a guy named David Ibuka Agoha. He's Nigerian, 6'5", 245-pound defensive lineman. But he came over through the NFL International Player Pathway Program. The NFL International Player Pathway Program. Man, what a name. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. I didn't know they had anything like this. I know baseball has like a foreign drafts and stuff like that for Major League Baseball. And I didn't know football really got into stuff like that in developing international players, but apparently they have a whole program set up in different parts of the world to set these players up, because the Raiders fullback, Jakob Johnson, is German, and that's how he got into the league, was through the NFL International Player Pathway Program. And so it gives them a chance to make the team, to make the roster, either as a practice player or a regular rostered player. And if they don't, I guess they go back into the pool and stuff like that for other teams to pick up. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But a hell of a size, 6'5", 245. That's a big ass dude, man. Eileen says it's Wilson, Mims, Davis, Cobbs, Lazard, Hardman Jr., and Uzma, and Conklin. Tight end. Jesus Christ, that's a full room. Wilson, Mims, Davis, Cobb, Lazard they're the those are the Rogers boys, I believe. Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard. Who was the rookie last year that was supposed to be really good? Was that Wilson? But so that's all I got on the Raiders this week. Not a whole lot with the Raiders. Before I move on, I'm going to read off another sponsor here real quick, if you please. Jay Feinlaw, our boy, attorney Big Al. You can reach them at 1-800-HURT-123. 1-800-HURT-123. They now have 3 offices that you can contact. They specialize in MVA, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims. Their locations are as follows. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120 in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Zip code 19103. You can reach them at 267-888-2980. There's also a Cherry Hill, New Jersey location at 3 Greensward Lane, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08002. And you can reach them at 856-209-5258. Then they're also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with offices located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219. You can reach them at 412-365-8151. Or you can call Jason 24/7 directly at 267-962-4895, or our boy Paul, Maiko Spencer, at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. That's J. Fine Law, attorney Big Al. I love that. I love that read. Say Big Al. Good stuff. Yep, Garrett Wilson. Okay, that was the good rookie last year. Backlash is not that bad. My dad's a big wrestling fan. I haven't watched wrestling I haven't followed wrestling religiously in a long time. I used to watch it a lot. Then I'd stop, then I'd start, then I'd stop. So I haven't followed it much recently, but my dad does. And I said to him, "Oh, you should come on over." I said, "I have the Peacock app on my TV." I said, "I could put a Backlash on for you," but he wasn't up for it tonight, and he was saying he was arguing with me about Lesnar beating Cody Rhodes. Said, there ain't no way that skinny guy Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes' son, could beat that Brock Lesnar. I said, "Well, Dad," I said, "it's wrestling." I said, "It's not." I said, "If this was an MMA fight," I said, Brock Lesnar would probably beat Cody Rhodes. I said, "But I said it seems like they're setting Cody Rhodes up for a good run. So, possibly a SummerSlam match between Cody Rhodes and the Tribal Chief, The Rock's nephew. Lesnar and Cody's on now. I can't even remember Roman Reigns. There it is. I can't even remember Roman Reigns' name. This is terrible. That should be a good match, Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. They both, Cody Rhodes is fantastic in the ring, I think. Really good seller. And, Brock's just a monster, can do whatever he wants, and it's super athletic to go with it. So I think that should be a good match. My dad said that there's no way Seth Rollins should be able to beat Omos either. I said, Omos is terrible in the ring. I said, Seth Rollins is good. He said, I don't care. He shouldn't be able to beat him. The guy's over 7 feet tall. Well, Dad, I said, whatever. So we'll move on to the Golden Knights now. They took game one, 6-4. Pretty good game, exciting. Lots of games with offense are exciting. Lots of offense in this game, 6-4. Some back and forth. I think it went. Edmonton scored first, and then the Golden Knights actually won up 3-1. Then Oilers came back, tied at 3-3. The Golden Knights scored 2 goals within 50 some seconds of each other to take the 5-3 lead. Then it was 5-4. Then they put in an empty netter to make it 6-4. All 4 goals by Draisaitl. The Golden Knights goals were 2 by Barbashev, 1 by Amadio. Stone had a power play goal. The captain, Stevenson, had a goal. Eichel had a goal. And like I said, for the Oilers, all 4 by the dickhead Draisaitl. That was the first Oilers regulation loss. As the first Oilers regulation loss since March 11th. And they're hot. And I said it going into the playoffs that, they're my pick to go to the finals and to win it. I think they're going to win the cup. They're so good. And, you kind of get that feeling when you're watching ESPN and the Oilers are on, how they just keep talking and talking about the Oilers. Doesn't matter who the hell they're playing. It's like, all right, it almost feels like a setup. Like, they already know who's going to win. It's really frustrating. I can't stand watching the ESPN anything anymore. There's no, there's supposed to be a bias, down the middle, but they, obviously the Oilers have a couple of huge stars on their team, but that's all they focus on. That's all they talk about. You have 3 20-minute periods, and then plus the two intermissions. That's all they talk about. They're just smooching McDavid's rear end and Draisaitl's rear end. It's just all the whole time. It's like, it makes you want to throw up. So I can't stand watching ESPN. Whenever the Kings were on ESPN, when they were playing the Oilers this postseason, it was unbearable. A couple of comments. I think it says, part of me thinks this ends in a Lesnar DQ. I don't know why. I cannot see Lesnar losing clean to Rhodes. I don't know if there's any stipulations in the match. If Rhodes wins, he gets the rematch with Reigns or not, or anything like that. But yeah, I could see it is hard to see Lesnar lose clean in a match. But if you want Cody to come out looking strong, for a potential rematch with Roman Reigns, the perfect way to make him look strong is to have him beat Lesnar 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. So Eileen says they suck off the Oilers. They absolutely do. I was trying to avoid saying that, but they do. They suck off the Oilers. They suck off McDavid. So like I said, game one, very exciting 6-4 game, lots of offense. The Oilers are loaded with offense. The Golden Knights, the potential's there for them to be loaded with offense. It seems to be up and down with their offense output. A lot of it was throughout the season with injuries. They're so consistent in winning. You kind of forget that they had so many injuries throughout the season and even preseason. But their goaltending, I don't want to say carried them, but their goaltending is a big reason why they got that 1 seed overall in the West. Was because of their goaltending. With the injuries they had throughout the season, and Mark Stone, their best goal scorer, pretty much was out half the season basically. So, now all those guys are back. Most of, I guess, I know Stone is back, but I don't know if there's anybody else that's out. That's a big offensive guy. But now you kind of see the full offensive power that the Golden Knights that are there potentially, and it's exciting. They have a shot. I thought the Kings had a shot to beat the Oilers. The Golden Knights have a shot to beat the Oilers, but the Oilers are still my pick to win it all. And just they're so deep with offensive talent. Their goaltending isn't all that great. Skinner's up and down. He's in the running for Rookie of the Year. I can't remember the name. Hockey has names for all their trophies. They have goofy names. I don't want to say goofy. There's usually there's history behind them, but they're named trophies, not just like Rookie of the Year or MVP. There's Conn Smythe, Lady Bing, all this other stuff. I can't remember what the name of the Rookie of the Year trophy was. Jesper Smithy Award. The Jesper Conrad Award. We'll call it. That sounds Canadian or something like that for an award. Jesper Conrad. That's the rookie. That's my Rookie of the Year award. So then moving on to the game 2 whooping that they just received. Like I said, start the show. I was watching some Golden Knights hockey, and it wasn't looking good. I think it ended up 5-1, and it wasn't even that close. They were all over them. Again, it all comes down to power plays with the Oilers. If you're going to commit penalties, they're going to score goals. And one of the craziest stats I heard, I think this was on the TNT or TBS broadcast, whichever one it was that had the games on the first game on. I feel like it doesn't matter who it was. It's TBS or TNT, I believe. But one of the clowns during intermission, I don't know what his name is. I'm not sure. But he said, maybe it was ESPN. It doesn't matter who it was. Now I'm thinking it was ESPN. So now I feel like I was PK Subban that was saying it. And I wouldn't call PK Subban a clown to his face. He'd beat me up. But they said if the Oilers, I guess I don't know where he got the stat from, but it was somebody in the back. They said if the Oilers during the regular season, if they would have went 0 for their next 66 in the power play, they still would have led the league in power play. That's unbelievable. That's how far ahead. That's how good that their power play was this past season. If they would have went 0 for 66, they still would have led the league in power play goals. That's unbelievable. Absolutely. Or I think it was percentage. I think it was power play percentage or something like that. That's absolutely insane. So, I mean, they killed the Kings in the power play in round 1, and they're doing it to Vegas in round 2. Game 1, I think they were 2 for 3 in power plays, and game 2, from what I was watching up to the moment I came in here, they are 3 for 5 on the power plays plus a shorthand goal. So it all comes down to your special teams. If you can't perform on your special teams, Against the Edmonton Oilers, you're screwed, man. They take full advantage of that extra man out there. And even if you go 4-on-4, if you have matching minors or whatever, that puts you at a disadvantage also because they're so gifted offensively. And you go 4-on-4, that opens up the ice even more. You're in trouble. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, you have to play a clean 5-on-5 game in order to have a chance against the Oilers. And if you're going to go out there and commit, penalty after penalty, you're gonna be in trouble. You're going to be down. And eventually, I think that's what bit the Kings in the ass. I felt like in games 5 and 6, I think it was, they just committed a lot of dumb penalties, and they were early and put us behind the 8 ball. And the Kings just could never recover. They just could not catch up because they're so gifted offensively. The Kings were drained. Games, it's 1-1 here now, but they need to get their power play figured, the penalty kill figured out, or just not commit the penalties, stupid ass penalties. They're just gonna keep taking advantage. It's absolutely insane. So Draisaitl again, 2 goals. McDavid 2 goals. Bouchard, he had a goal, and Barbashev, he had the lone Vegas goal when I was watching. Like I said, I think it ended 5-1, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that's what Maiko also said, 5-1. And this guy here, I can't stand him. He seems like a dickhead. He's one of those like a gnat kind of player, just like buzzing around, bugging people, and he just seems like a dickhead. And he's on fire. I mean, absolutely on fire. The first game 1, 4 goals in the 6-4 loss. Another 2 goals in this game. I think that puts him up to 13 goals in 7 games. I think it is. So there, game 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's Draisaitl has been outstanding. McDavid's been good. He's fed into a lot of the Draisaitl goals. But, I mean, Draisaitl has been on another level. And some of the stuff that he's been doing, there's that 1 goal he scored on Laurent Brossoit, from basically almost behind the net where he flicked it up on his back, and went in. It's unbelievable. He was behind the net, off to the side behind the net, flicked it up on Brossoit's back, and Brossoit's like, where the hell did it go? And, he knocked it in, of course, because it's on your freaking back. So that they need to find a way to contain Draisaitl, limit his damage. But you have to figure if they try to do that, then that opens up more Connor McDavid type stuff. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it was really chippy during this game. Also, I know Evander Kane was going at it with I'm not sure who it was, but he had him down the ice, punching him pretty good. And I guess he got a 10-game or 10-minute penalty for it. He came back in there, the Golden Knights, rightfully so, were kind of buzzing around him, chirping at him because he was chirping at their bench and trying to go with the old fisticuffs again. But cooler heads prevailed there. But it's going to continue to be chippy now. I think there's a lot of bad blood now, and which is good. You want 2 teams to really hate each other, and that really then they really go at it, and that's gonna fall into the Golden Knights' favor. I think it's to get the Oilers off their game a little bit, make them be uber aggressive physically instead of uber aggressive athletically, scoring goals and stuff. Make them want to fight. Make them take them out of their game. So that might work in their favor more than it would against them. Maybe. I don't know. Just a thought. Adam Glenn, the playing spoiler. Cody won. I thought he would, but we'll see what that means for Cody Rhodes in the future. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I told my dad he's going to get Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo on the small of his back, a tramp stamp. I call my dad the American Nightmare. So So we got another, hang on here. Another read here real quick. So, Not Your Average Janes. I'm sure if you've tuned into these shows before, you've seen this backdrop up. Not Your Average Janes is a 14U travel girls softball team that I help coach. We're looking for donations. Out of the Box Sports is looking to become a sponsor, and we figured what a better way than to ask our viewers, our listeners, our fans to help donate money to raise money for the Not Your Average Janes to help with costs, for equipment, balls, field chalk, field dry is very expensive, stuff like that. Also, help pay for costs for indoor practices during the off season, during the winter months when we can't practice outside. We normally practice inside weekly, and that those costs have risen and stuff like that. Tournament costs are astronomical. They keep going up, due to insurance and stuff like that. And for them, they got to pay for their chalk. They got to pay for their field dry, umpires and stuff like that. So that drives their cost up. Umpire fees are going higher and higher, which I don't blame them. Being an umpire sucks. I umpire my oldest daughter's rec games last year, and I'll be helping umpire my younger daughter's rec games this year. And it's not fun because every parent thinks that it's the World Series, and they always got stuff to say. So it's not a lot of fun being an umpire, but it gives you a certain amount of power. You feel like I could throw any one of you out if I want to. It's all about the power. Who's in charge? I'm in charge. But anyway, Not Your Average Janes. If you want to donate, every little bit helps. $5, $10, whatever. Hit me up, Ken Fry or Maiko Spencer, and we can give you a Venmo handle. I know Adam Glenn has donated generously to the cause, and we appreciate it very much, Adam. Thank you. Kind sir. That's the Not Your Average Janes. We're actually playing tomorrow in a triple header. A little bit of preseason action before we hit tournament season in June, July, August. So that should be fun. Hey, I'm back. Another comment here. Oh, there's our boy. Cowboy Dave. Yeehaw. Ride him up there, Bronco. What's going on, brother? You can check Cowboy Dave out on Wednesdays on Dem 215 Boys talking cowboy football. I think he's on. Are you on tonight, Dave, with the wrestling show on another network? I think maybe, or is that just Joey Wood on some of those steel steps or something or rather? I don't know. I thought I saw something. I don't know. It was one of you guys doing a wrestling show tonight on another network. You should have a wrestling show on this network. You and Eileen talking gorilla presses. Nobody. I guess they use that a little bit. I miss pile drivers. When I was a kid, pile drivers were a huge move. But you don't see them. They're outlawed. They're banned. I know in WWE they're banned after the whole Stone Cold thing, I think. When Owen Hart dropped Stone Cold on his head and almost paralyzed him and stuff. But I mean, if it's not done right, you can see how it can go wrong. But that's pretty much any move that these guys do nowadays. One misstep or one move not done correctly, then you're in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. So I think that's part of the allure of it also, just how death-defying, a lot of these moves are, and, how these guys just do it so technically sound is absolutely amazing. Real, fake, or not. I mean, I always, when I was, I used to take off every year for WrestleMania when I used to work at my former place of employment. And, you guys are like, oh, it's fake. Oh, this, that. And like, it's not fake. It's scripted and stuff like that. They're not really punching each other in the mouth and stuff, but those guys are really putting their bodies on the line. They're really, doing these flips and these moves. It's every bit as athletic as, as any football player or baseball player or basketball player or hockey player out there. So yeah, I mean, it's not real, but it's still pretty real. I mean, these guys are, you know, risking life and limb and stuff like that to do some of these crazy ass moves. It's insane. It really is like watching that dude Viking. What the hell is it? Viking something or rather. I think in AEW or something like that, or TNA or wherever he's at. I was watching highlights of him and I think it was Kenny Omega or somebody, and just like the moves that these guys were doing were it's absolutely nuts. I mean, like there's insane. You know, like the spins, like and how close they get to the ropes. They like one little step in the wrong direction, and you're entangled into paralyzation there. It's unbelievable. When and where is Dave's wrestling show? Adam, you don't worry about where Dave's wrestling show is. You worry about Out of the Box Sports. Nobody else. I'm not sure, Adam. I think it's on Devro Sports, but I'm not 100% sure. You're gonna have to ask Dave. I'm not sure. Eileen says, my mom always asks, how do they not hurt each other? It's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of practice, a lot of work, a lot of trust, I think goes into that also. A lot of trust. So yeah. So I'm going to put up another banner here. Another thing. Backdrop, poster, whatever you want to call it, of our shows. So coming up, our next show that's coming up is Monday, Joystick Junkies. You check them out at 8 p.m. Talking video games. Tuesdays, you have Extra Innings, talking all Major League Baseball, which is, good stuff. Major League Baseball's, full force here. We're seeing starting to see some teams shape out a little bit here in early May yet. The Mets are stinking, and Phillies are stinking, and the Yankees are stinking, and the Pirates are really good. The Rays are really good, and the teams that don't spend money are really good. But it's early. It's May, so whatever. Wednesdays at 10 a.m., you can check myself out on the Batcave, talking Mets, baseball, and a little bit of Kings hockey. Now the Kings are done. There's not a whole lot to talk about right now, but I'll still touch base on Kings a little bit. Then Wednesdays at 6:30, Dem 215 boys, talking Cowboy football. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., the College Football Frenzy. Thursdays, 8 p.m., Mike's 4 for 4 Locker Room Podcast, all Philly sports. Thursday night, 10 p.m., Fight Club 215, talking combat sports. Friday, 8 p.m., the Big Blue Power Hour. That's New York Giants football. And Saturdays, 10 p.m., of course, you're on it right now. If you didn't know, the Las Vegas sports scene. I will not be on next week. I will probably not be on next week. Next week is my weekend of work, and it seems like work is picking up, which is good. So I'm expecting to work, and so there's a good chance I will not be on. If I am on, it's going to be a different time. So and you can check all of our shows out: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Please like and follow, but definitely hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That means that's a big thing there. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, like, follow, share away. Tell your neighbors. Cats, dogs, birds, anything. Spread the word around about Out of the Box Sports. Like I said, a lot of cool things happening here coming up very soon. New shows, like we said, announcement coming this week, coming up with a new show. New shows in the future coming up that are already planned out. We already see new layouts, new backdrops, new logos, and stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff happening right now. A lot of neat stuff. New sponsor coming very soon. As soon as the next couple weeks here, we'll be able to release that information as to who it is and where you could purchase their wares. And so, yeah, it's exciting stuff. A couple comments here. We're also on TikTok and the Gram, the Instagram. So make sure you check it out. That's Facebook, YouTube, the Twitter box, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. Wrestling is a male soap opera. Yeah, I think, you know what? You're right, Adam. I think that's one of the things that that separates it from like UFC and stuff like that. Like, yeah, UFC is obviously real, but they're really punching each other, really, trying to break each other's arms and stuff. But the story part of it is what, is one of the things that really, if it's a good story, if it's a good storyline that really brings you into it. I remember so many times in the past where I was like so in tune to a storyline on WWE that I find myself fast forwarding through all these other matches and storylines because I just want to get to that storyline to see where they're progressing now. So yeah, it is a lot like a male soap opera. Dave says he's not there anymore. Okay, I'm sorry, Dave. I thought you were still doing that wrestling show. Adam Glenn says the Mets are cheaters. Adam, if the Mets are cheaters, then how are they losing? Are they doing it wrong? Are they cheating wrong? I don't understand if they're cheaters. How are they cheating? They're not. If they're cheating, they're not doing it right. The College Football Frenzy will be back in 3 weeks, so don't be looking for that. If you're not on next week, you don't get paid. That's a good point, Adam. That's a good point. I might have to just change the time and just be on just to be sure. Maiko says, I told my neighbor's dog and he subscribed. Attaboy. Yeah, make multiple, even if you're subscribed now, make multiple YouTube accounts and subscribe to all of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, really drive those numbers up. And then go throughout your house, turn on all your devices, and each one you got to log on and watch the show through each device or TV. All these smart TVs, they all have YouTube apps. So put this lovely mug on your, like Paul, 130-inch screen TV or whatever it was he has. I think he says calling it TikTok makes me laugh. I'm going to become a professional TikToker. Maiko says like other networks do. Yeah, there we go. If that's how you get the numbers up, man. Sly, that's what that is. But yet I have little pet names for all these networks. I call the Facebook, not networks, social media apps. The Facebook, YouTube, I just call YouTube. TikTok, the Twitter box or Twitter machine, sometimes I call it. The Gram, the Instagram. I don't understand Instagram. That's something I don't understand. Like it's just pictures and then you put like a caption there. But isn't that what you do on Facebook too? Sometimes, most of the time. And so I don't understand how it's any different. And then if you post to Instagram, it'll post to Facebook for you. It's like it's Facebook. It's just Facebook. I don't understand why it's a separate thing, but whatever. I mean, it's probably worth billions of dollars. That's insane. So I think that's everything. I think I covered everything. Let me double check here before I jet out of here. Make sure you check out that Monkey Cold Coffee. I'm going to put that up there one more time. If you haven't already, please go on to monkeycoldcoffee.com and join the cult. It's an evolution of flavor-infused coffee. Bourbon chocolate chip is fantastic. The toasted coconut rum is even better. Take my word for it. Try that toasted coconut rum. It's phenomenal. The rum cake, very good. And then I got their tumbler, and their tumblers, really good also. I had a coffee before I, made it before work. I took it to work. I cannot drink coffee at my workstation, so I put it in the break room. So it was like 3.5, 4 hours later before I go to break, go back and I take a sip of my coffee, and it was still hot. So that was impressive, and it was still hot. Second break also a couple hours later. So, it does its job. Stainless steel tumbler there. And they got a kick-ass mug. The cold brew pitcher I've used a bunch of times. I did a couple of videos on that. The cold brew bourbon chocolate chip is very good. So check that out. All that's on monkeycoldcoffee.com. monkeycoltcoffee.com. And at checkout, enter the promo code OOTB Sports for a discount. That's OOTB Sports at checkout for a discount. And tell them the Bat Fry sent you. All right, so that's all I got. That's all I have for tonight. Like I said, stay tuned. I don't know if I'll be on next week or not. Maybe I'll do it at a different time. I don't know what kind of following I would get if I did it like let's say a Friday morning or not. But that's something I'll talk about with the powers that be, and I'll think about coming up if I just do it Friday morning or what. But I'm probably going to have to work next weekend. And I think they'll frown upon it if I do it at my workstation. One, because I'm not supposed to have a cell phone at my workstation. And two, because I'm sure they don't want video of their equipment out there in the interwebs floating around for Russia and China to watch. So I know the Russians, and I'm big in Russia and China, really big in the Far East. I get letters, fan mail all the time. I'm not talking email. I'm talking like, Johnny Cash style. You see the movie Johnny Cash with Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker in it. When he's opening up the letters, that's how all the time. From China, I can't read the damn things because I don't know how to speak Chinese or Russian. But so I'm popular in the Far East. Just so you know. I'm like WWE. 130 nations around the world are watching the Vegas sports scene right now. In Espanol, in French. Nigeria. I was talking about Nigeria. I'm big in Nigeria. Certain portions of Africa, I'm not very popular, but a lot of them I am. Maiko says he's popular in Japan. Yeah, well, not. Yeah, I mean, you were, then you weren't. You might be back closer to being more popular in Japan. So, it's been a long time, Paul. So I think maybe it's time for them to forgive you and for them to embrace their forgotten son, Maiko Spencer, and welcome him back with open arms and celebrate his celebrityism. That's what I think should happen. Whether or not that you're going to get that parade, I don't think so. Cowboy Dave says, "Go get your ice cream, baby." Yeah. If you didn't watch the Batcave, my top 10 list on the Batcave was top 10 ice cream flavors, and number one on my list was the peanut butter ripple from Turkey Hill ice cream. Everything was Turkey Hill ice cream. I love Turkey Hill ice cream. If you never had Turkey Hill ice cream, you got to find your way into a supermarket in the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey area and get yourself some Lancaster-made Turkey Hill ice cream. Fantastic. Best ice cream. Maiko says, right, I changed my name to the original, to your ancestral name. Yeah, it's time. I think we should go live with the ceremony that there should be, the celebration of your podcasting success and your acceptance back in the Japanese culture. That's what I think should happen, and we should do it live with the emperor, the Japanese emperor. I think they still do emperors. I'm not sure if it's an emperor or if it's a president now. I don't know. Maiko says fudge brownie Reese cups by Friendlies. Don't know if I ever had that. Something I might try. We do get some Friendly ice cream in the stores around here where I'm at, but not quite the selection as Turkey Hill or Breyers. There's a lot of Breyers flavors. But I mean, how creative is Breyers? Oh, we have Snickers flavored. It's just chocolate and peanuts and some caramel. What a joke is that? That's fancy. Please get over it. Oh, it's Snickers. It's not Snickers. Just using a name to sell it. Bullshit. Anyway, I'm starting to get all irritated now by this ice cream talk. How Breyers is trying to trick people. The fat cats at Breyers. All right. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for checking out the show. Thanks for all the comments. We got another one. I don't want to miss any. There we go. Hey, Ken, we need to start a petition for my return from Out of the Box Sports viewers. Oh, yeah. The millions and millions. Yeah. We got the millions and millions of Out of the Boxers. Oh, no, we need to Out of the Box. I'm going to think of a nickname. Like on the Batcave, I call them my Batarangs. Because, Batman, Batcave, Batarang, that's the fans I call them. But we have to think the Out of the Box. Yeah, I'll think of something. But yeah, we should start a petition for the millions and millions to sign. It's they got your back. I have no doubt. All right, so that's all I got. Tune in soon. I don't know. Like I said, Wednesday morning I'm back with the Batcave no matter what, 10 a.m. So check me out there. Same bat time, same bat channel. But again, stay tuned for the Vegas sports scene. I'll let you know if I'm going to be on or not. I'll put it out there on my Facebook page and on the Twitter box, and let everybody know my fans, my Batarangs, I got to think of my vegans. I don't know. I have to figure out a good Vegas sports scene name for the millions and millions. All right. I'm definitely going this time. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for checking the show out. Thanks for all your comments. You make it fun. Go Knights and just win, baby.